What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I'm actually going to be reviewing two eyeshadows that I got from MAC Cosmetics, and it's the MAC and it's the MAC and Padma collab. If you're interested in watching this review, then just keep watching. Alrighty guys, so these are two eyeshadow palettes that I recently hauled on my channel, and I will put the little video in the iCards over there. I got both of the eyeshadow palettes for this collection. It was the Desert Dusk and 70's Sunset palettes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open up the first one just so you guys can see. Now these are super reflective and very beautiful packaging. So this is the packaging. We're not going to judge my setup, we're just not going to. For this packaging you actually have to push in this clasp and pull up the top, and I didn't know that at the beginning, so I'm going to tell you guys in case you're interested in buying this. And then still reflective packaging, but here are the shadows, and I'm just going to come in a little bit better so you guys can have a better look. And this is the 70's Sunset palette. All right, let's get the second one, and this one is the Desert Dusk palette. Once again, still very beautiful packaging, very beautiful packaging. And then this one is the Desert Dusk palette. So just off rip, these are my first MAC eyeshadows, so I had really no expectations, but at the same time I had expectations because everybody loves MAC, so I felt like they were gonna have a good amount of pigmentation, they were gonna have a good amount of blendability, a good amount of staying powder, etc, etc, a good amount of staying power. Very rude. So yeah, I had a lot of expectations, some good, some not. I will say, just in case you're wondering, that there in this eyeshadow palette, in each of them there's 5.6 grams total, and these eyeshadow palettes sold for, I want to say $35. If I'm wrong, I will put the number right on the screen for you guys. But yeah, let me just go ahead and swatch the palettes really quickly, and I will be right back. Alrighty guys, so here are the swatches. I'm gonna show you the swatches for the Desert Dusk palette first, and I just went ahead and swatched them on my hand really quickly. There aren't any shade names, so yeah, these are the four shadows in the Desert Dusk palette, and then the four shadows in the 70's Sunset palette are just right here. So I'm just zoom out. Here is the Desert Dusk palette, and here is the 70's Sunset palette. Now, just a fair warning, I have no clue why this came out like this. It's really the lighter color in the swatch. It might just be because my arm is a little wet or because of the lotion. I don't really know. But let's get into the review. I will say that these shadows I had to build up to get this coloring, this pigmentation on my arm. So especially when it came to the mattes, I was highly disappointed, which is unfortunate. The colors are beautiful. I mean, the color combination's excellent, and I was really looking forward to really just diving in on these palettes, but I did not find that I like these palettes on any of the eyeshadow primers that I use, and I generally test them on two. I generally test them on the one from Melanin Complex, and then on my Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer. I also have a NYX eyeshadow primer that eyeshadow milk, the eyeshadow stick that I tend to use when there are shadows that just really aren't popping off my skin. I've stopped using it just because it seems like the lighter the shadow, the more you can actually see that I use a white base, and I don't like that. And there are a couple other primers that I might try and use these with, just because I love the color combinations. I really don't want to return these. So yeah, off that, just the mattes alone, I'm not happy with these palettes at all. Then you get to the shimmers, and the shimmers they are beautiful. They really are. But they're shimmers. They're not metallics. So that really kind of rubs me personally the wrong way. You do have to foil them, and even when you foil them, I feel like they thin out, if that makes sense. So overall, I am not the happiest camper when it comes to these. Like I said, I love the packaging. I love the color combinations. I was so excited for these palettes, but these palettes just missed the mark for me. So I am kind of in a gray area over whether I will be purchasing any more MAC eyeshadows, just because these just really fell for me. I haven't seen anybody else review these eyeshadow palettes, so I don't know if everybody else knew these weren't going to be anything good and they just didn't let me know, didn't let me save my money. But I'm here to give you guys my opinion on these palettes, and I would not spend the money if you know. Just don't spend the money, especially if you're my complexion. Don't even bother. Maybe on somebody who's lighter complexion, these shadows might actually build up better. They might actually appear better on your skin, but for my complexion or anybody darker, I'm just not having it. I will say, just on a really small tangent, that the Patrick Star, he's now done 2 collections with MAC, and both collection, I at one point have been interested in eyeshadow palettes, so I might pick up one of his, maybe 2 of his eyeshadow palettes. But honestly, at this point, I'm gonna need them to all be in Ulta and be on sale, because yeah. So long story short, I would not recommend these eyeshadow palettes. Unfortunately, the pigmentation for me is just not there, and the fact that they're shimmers and not metallics for me just does not rock my boat, and when I try and foil them, it's just not the best. So yeah, I would not recommend these eyeshadow palettes. Definitely comment below if you like these eyeshadow palettes, and let me know how you've been able to use them so that I could possibly use them, because I don't plan on returning these. I really want to work with these eyeshadow palettes. So definitely let me know any suggestions that you guys have, and yeah. If you have any questions, I guess ask me down below. Like this video if you like my review. What else do people say? Oh, subscribe if you're into me, and check out my latest video that I will post right here. And it's been real, y'all. Peace.